This audio recording is an extension of the community explorations at inlightconnect.com, where we explore self-inquiry, meditation, and conscious observation as a way of connecting with more love, compassion, and freedom. Let's just take a moment and check in with right now. I always love the recognition or the remembrance that everything that's real is here, happening in this moment. And the intention is to connect with what's real. And the only place that can happen is right now. The inspiration today comes from an internal dialogue that I had last night before I was going to sleep. And the dialogue was, in a way, watching how all of my commentary was about my own commentary, which is also to say, what I was thinking about was to think about my own thinking. And everything I was thinking about wasn't actually happening. In fact, furthermore, everything I was thinking about could never actually happen. It could only exist in the imagination. And I can imagine for some, this might seem a stretch. It might seem distant to recognize the depth of stillness, where in a very real way, nothing is happening. Yet we imagine 10,000 things happening. And so just notice that. If you're going to hang out here for a little bit, just notice that. That here we are in this moment, and there's a stillness. Even if there's noises around, there's a stillness before the noise. And there's a stillness even in the noise. And just notice that. Notice that there is a vast emptiness that allows for the appearance of all things. And everything which seems to arise will fall back into the emptiness. It's like a thought that comes and goes. Yet the stillness remains. And notice how our attention becomes captured by the appearances, captured by the thought. Where in one moment we might be rested in the stillness, and then the attention gets captured by a thinking. And we completely forget the emptiness. It's not wrong, it's not bad, just notice it. And in being captured, we think that what we're thinking about is real. It's almost as if our attention on it makes it grow our attention on it appears to give it life. And yet, when we step back and connect with the moment, with what's actually happening, we watch it disappear. It loses its intensity, its life force, and it returns to the empty. Take the past 2 hours before you came here to hang out. Remember all the thinking? Remember the tension? Maybe the anxiety? The worry, the fear? Was that about anything that was real? Was it about anything that was actually happening? Or were you merely thinking about your thinking? Again, not wrong, just see it. Even the things you might have been excited about. Were you excited about anything that was real? Or were you excited in your thinking about your thinking? You see, there's this stillness, maybe what we might call the middle way, that's not running towards and not running away from, just present. Almost as if there's nothing to really be excited about in tomorrow, and there's nothing to be afraid of in yesterday. There's a presence. Do you see how it's the belief in thinking that pulls us around? I got to get away from this, or I got to get to that. If only this, if only that. As if something was missing. Is there anything in reality in this moment that's missing, or is it simply a thought that something is missing? A thought believed in. A thought seemed to be real. Yet upon further investigation, we see this too is only imagined. How interesting. And yes, we can be super gentle about this. So quick is the mind to think, oh, I must be doing it wrong. Something must be wrong with me. Am I broken? No, 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 no. It's not that at all. It's an opportunity to see this. It's not a demand, it's not an expectation, it's not a should. It's a very sweet and friendly invitation to just remember right now. And naturally the mind strategizes and says, well, how can I remember this tomorrow? Not the point, my dear. Let's just see it right now. And then in seeing it right now, it'll do whatever it needs to do. We can celebrate it right now, rather than being afraid of losing it tomorrow. And in this celebration, we can celebrate life. We can celebrate the miracle of stillness, of emptiness, where all things are forgiven because nothing's really happening. Beautiful. Do you notice the breath that's happening? Do you see that you're not doing it? Can you connect with a recognition that this power that moves the breath in and out is the same power that pulls the tide in and out? It's the same magic that appears to make the sun rise and the sun set. Feel it. Let this breathe through you. It's so funny. When you think you're the one that's breathing, breathing becomes agitated. It's like the moment you put your attention on the breath, it's no longer 100% natural, effortless. It becomes slightly agitated through the fear that you might get it wrong, through the fear that it's up to you. And in this creates a restriction. And yet when you recognize deeply that you're not doing it, you let go. And it returns to the naturalness. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, this is life. So funny how we think we're doing it. We think that life is up to us. We must make it happen. And we feel a restriction, a tension, a fear that we might get it wrong. And it's only at that place of sweet surrender when you realize it's not up to you and you give it back to life. And we find ourselves carried, guided, moved in the same way that the seasons are moved, held and nurtured in the same way nature is nurtured. Are you not this? Are you not this nature? Birthed from within its miracle? Are you so separate from all that is? Relax, dear one. Breathe. Be still and know. Everything is imaginary. Not wrong, not bad, but imaginary. In its most sincere and authentic sense, it exists for the sake of play. And the moment you think it's real, it becomes serious, and you fear losing what you only imagine to be real. There is nothing to fear. There is nothing real that you can lose. For we only lose stories about ourselves which never were. In this, the only thing you will lose is what you are not. And the only thing you will seemingly gain is the remembrance of what you already are. Don't you notice this? Everything that brings you back to this space of peace, and joy, and wellness, it's the remembrance that you're not missing anything. It's a remembrance that it's all imagined, and what you truly are is held in love. You don't get anything in the world. You don't lose anything that's real. You simply forget what you are, and then you remember what you are. And yet what you are remains through both the forgetting and the remembering. In this, no need to fear forgetting, because you will. That's part of it. We can allow ourselves to forget in the same way we allow ourselves to fall asleep at night, trusting ourselves to the way of life. Trusting that what is supposed to be what is. Knowing that we will remember. And so we move gently, softly. Not because we have to, but because we can. Because something within us knows. Something within knows we're not really lost. we're not really separate, even though we can imagine ourselves to be. We can be gentle. We can be kind. And we can love all the different colors of being human. For everything is a reflection of our own forgetting, or a reflection of our remembering. And if there is a reflection of forgetting, the only thing forgotten is the truth of what we are. And so it's calling out for love. That's all. And so let's be gentle. Let's create a space for love to be seen.
You've been listening to an Inlight Connect audio experience. We hope you've enjoyed this journey. If so, let us know. We deeply appreciate all feedback, comments, and reviews. Learn more at inlightconnect.com.